Okay, so 2-6 is talking about angles and equations. It's how angles or equations apply to angles, right? Okay, so we've got to review two concepts. The first concept is complementary angles. Complementary angles are two angles whose measure have a sum of 90 degrees, okay? 90 degrees is a right angle. Okay, so this is 90 degrees. It's going to be a right angle. Complementary is two angles, like this is angle. That's how I write my angle. That means angle, okay? So I'm going to put that here. Angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90 degrees. That would mean they're complementary, okay? Supplementary is two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So 180 degrees is going to be a straight line. So if I had angle 1 here and angle 2 here, I would say angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180 degrees. That would be supplementary, okay? My trick for remembering this is C comes before S in the alphabet, and 90 comes before 180. Okay, so if you're unsure and you can't remember, hopefully maybe you remember that to remember complementary, supplementary. Huh? You could, but there's lots of different ways to come up with supplementary angles. Okay, so I want to review a couple more things because I think that y'all forgotten maybe in the past. How many degrees are in a circle? 360. If I turn all the way around, I'm turning 360 degrees, right? Okay. How many degrees are in a triangle? 180 degrees. Yes, 180 degrees are in a triangle. And then how many degrees are in a square / rectangle? 90. No, 90 times, there's 4 right angles. So 90 times 4, which would be?
320.
How about 360? How about 360? Okay, so 360 in those things. So that's going to come up at some point. Okay, maybe not now, but in the future. Okay, so make sure you remember those degrees. Okay, so coming back over here to example 1. So example 1 is dealing with complementary angles. It says two angles that add up to this. So they gave us the equation x plus 75 is 90. So this is representing our x, this is representing our 75, and together they add up to 90. So could I solve for x? Okay, how would I solve for x? I would do what?
So you would do 75 minus 90.
I would subtract 75 from both sides.
And you get 15.
X is 15, okay? So this little angle right here is 15 degrees. Okay? So, pretty simple, right? Example 2 is an example of a supplementary set of angles. So, two angles that make 180 degrees. So, they didn't give us an equation, but we're going to make our own equation. We're going to say y plus 77 equals 180. And I said that because together they are supplementary. So, how would I solve for y? Tim.
You take 180 minus 70.
How about 77? I'm going to subtract 77 from both sides. And I'm going to get 103. So y is going to equal, this is going to be 103 degrees right there. Okay, so it's just kind of basic. We set it up, we solve it, and then we solve for the missing value. Now I'm going to change example 3 because we already did one with 75. And I'm going to make this 78. Okay, so if I were to set this up as an equation, I would say x plus 78 equals 90. So if I do that, I'm going to subtract 78 from both sides. How about just 12? Okay, so I would have x equals 12. So this little angle part right here would be 12 degrees. We're just setting it up in equation form like that. You could say 90 minus whatever angle they give you, but I'm setting it up as an equation just so you can see how they do it. Okay? So look at the next page. What kind of angles are those?
180.
Which is what? Use the vocabulary. Supplementary. Okay? So if I write an equation, I would say x plus 140 equals 180. Okay, now what? We would subtract 140 from both sides, yes. 40. X equals 40. Okay, so this is 40 right here. Okay. Okay, what kind of angles are these, Tim?
I just have a question.
Supplementary. So two angles that add up to 180 are going to be supplementary. So we're going to say x plus 122 equals 180. So if I solve for x, I'm going to subtract 122 from both sides. I'm sorry, that's not 38. My bad. $58. So x is going to equal 58 degrees. This is right here is 58 degrees. And number sense tells us that that angle is an acute angle because you were going with acute earlier. It is an acute angle, so it should be less than 90. Okay? Now, y'all don't have these notes, so I just want you to kind of put your pencil down and I'm going to work your mind a little bit. Okay? So this is a question similar to something on our test. Okay? So, how do I solve this problem? They give me the information. They say if the measure of 3 is 125. So this angle right here is 125 degrees. And they want us to find angle 1 right here. Okay, so I'm going to call that X. Okay, so I want you in your terms to think about how you would solve this. Okay? Okay. Okay, so we decided that this piece right here is supplementary. Okay, on our notes before, we decided that supplementary means two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 180. So we know the angle 3 is 125. So x plus 125 equals 180. And then if we solved for 180 or for x, we would get x equals 55 degrees. So we found out by that angle 2 is 55 degrees. Okay, and then somebody brought up that angle 1 and angle 2 are complementary, okay, because they make a right angle right there. So we're saying angle 1 plus angle 2 is 90 degrees. We know that angle 2 is 55 degrees, and we can do x for angle 1. We subtract 55, I put a line too soon, sorry. And then we got x is equal to 35. So angle 1 is 35 degrees. Now, if we look at this bottom part right here, guys, okay, it says find an equation that says what we just did. Now, is it going to go in the exact way? No. But let's look at A. Okay, can A be our answer choice?
Yes.
Okay, so it's saying 90 plus, we're still trying to find x, 90 plus 180 minus 125. 180 minus 125 was 55, so x is going to equal 145 there. Is that what we decided? No, so that's not going to be it. What about B?
No. It doesn't have the 90.
Okay, doesn't have the 90, and that's what we need. Okay, what about C?
No.
It's adding. Okay, this is technically what we did, but we did it in a few more steps. But we technically subtracted 180 minus this R known, and then subtracted that from the 90 degrees. So that worked out. Okay, so y'all are going to solve this one at your table for me. That one at your table for me. So everybody go. You should have said 180 right here. So 180 minus 135 is 45 degrees. So this right here is 45 degrees. So if this is 90, this is telling us this is a right angle. So 90 minus 45 is 45 degrees, which is answer choice D. Okay, last problem. Okay, this is from the release star test, and this is kind of scary a little bit. So we're going to talk about this. What do you remember about triangles from our earlier discussion? They equal 180. Somebody said 180. So their total degrees is 180 degrees. So if I were to write an equation that fits this, let's start with what equals 180?
90 plus 90.
Okay, no, but on this picture. We're saying that all three angles add up to 180, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because the three angles of a triangle is what adds up to 180. So if I add these all up, can I do that?
No.
Well, yeah, I can. Let's try it. Let's see. 50 plus 2x plus 3x minus 10. Okay, so what do we know here? Is there something I can do with math here that I know? Tim.
You can, so then you take 50 and you minus 180.
Well, hold on. Can we combine anything that we know?
Yes.
What about 50 and minus 10? Okay, so that would be 40. Okay, so a new thing that I'm not sure if you know yet, but I'm gonna tell you. Anytime we have x's, so out here, 2x represents that, right? That's 2x, right? 3x is this. Could I add those all together?
No.
And get what? 5x equals 180. Is that something we've seen before in class?
Yes.
Yeah, we're solving for it. Okay, so what's my first step here?
So first
Minus 40. I think.
Okay, no, because you shouted out, you didn't.
And then you would take down 5, and then you would do, that would be 5 by 5.
Okay, then we would do, if 5 and x are multiplying, so we would divide both sides by 5.
Yeah.
And we would get x equals 28. Okay, so that fits. And then look, it says, what is the value of x? Oh, it's 28. Could I find the value of each of these angles if I know x? What's 2 times 28?
52.
How about 56? Okay, what's 3 times 28 minus 10?
46.
How about, this is 84. Minus 10 is 74. Do all of these add up? 56, 74, and 50. Pretty sure that adds up to 180.